searchable products, all cross-searchable products. Well, if you click all, then it might add those ones that we had on the bottom, and they didn't have these limiters for selecting them. But let's do just the way it is. And the search tool, as you can see, very simple. And let's do Shakespeare. And Hamlet. And let's see what happens. Search. Might take a while because this whole family of databases, this whole aggregated database is being searched. And here what we got. The Hamlet doctrine. Knowing too much, doing nothing. This is interesting. And loading. Well, this is the article. It's kind of a short one, but I guess might be quite useful. And again, we were doing a power search of Gale database, which doesn't give us lots of way of limiting our searches. Now you can do search within the results that you got, and you can limit it to full text only and to the images, but it doesn't seem to give you opportunity to narrow it down to peer-reviewed resources only. But that's the disadvantage of searching like the whole thing all together, so it's quite cumbersome, could be quite slow too. Okay, let's go back to the home page, our pull-down menu, search all, and let's browse through the databases. It was Gale e-resources. Interesting, Google Scholar is included here as a database of a sort. It is a great resource, and it's of course available online freely, but they're doing a very good job. Like, while the actual search engine kind of could return you many results that are not authoritative, Google Scholar is much better in this respect. It might provide you with lots of authoritative results, like maybe peer-reviewed journal articles. However, you're not going to see lots of full text there. But sometimes if you need to do a quick search and like happen to be in a situation when you don't have access to online databases through CUNY, you could do a quick search on Google Scholar. Groyler Online Encyclopedia, Historical New York Times. That's important. Historical New York Times. It's another Proquest database. Now, Historical New York Times. New York Times began in mid-19th century. And you can use this database to search for articles from mid-19th century. It's kind of similar to the New York Times on microfilm. The difference is that you get your results right away. With the microfilm, you need to use, say, New York Times Index, like big multi-volume edition, find your information there by author, title, or subject, and then look for the microfilm, then use the microfilm reader, find the article, then print it out. So it's quite a complex process. And by the way, there will be a question on the exam saying that microform and microfilm is a part of microform if it's an advanced contemporary technology, something like that. It isn't. A microform is obsolete technology. And the advanced modern information technology is, of course, computer technology, so we would give preference, of course, to the historical New York Times over the microfilm, because it's more efficient and you spend much less time on it. So advanced search, for instance, you could use advanced search here. And how about we'll find some information on Medgar Evers again. Medgar Evers. Medgar Evers. And you can see a number of articles here. You can see it. Some articles are dedicated to Medgar Evers, the person, the civil rights fighter, and some are dedicated to our college. And if you want to see the article, they have full text. You click on the full text, and it'll display the article for you. Okay, and this is Historical New York Times, which helps you to find the New York Times articles. You could say you could use other resources probably, like New York Times website, for instance. It doesn't go that far back to the mid-19th century. And the same with the LexisNexis. LexisNexis probably goes back to like 1960s. This one has a slight disadvantage too. It doesn't cover the latest 3 years. So if you need New York Times from the latest 3 years, that's when you should use LexisNexis. If you need anything older than that, then this Historical New York Times by Proquest is a great resource. Okay, and I'm going to click on the little house. Home page, search all, pull down menu. JSTOR. JSTOR, in my humble opinion, would be the kind of second choice after the AppScore. I would use JSTOR. It's not as user-friendly, but has lots of useful material. Advanced search. See, include only content that I can access. That means full text in their terminology. I don't see any limiter for peer-reviewed, but there is plenty of other limiters. So let's do Shakespeare. Shakespeare and Hamlet, search. Cleopatra and her problems. Elliot and interesting titles. Reflections in Shakespeare translations. Then you can see there is a page scan, article PDF, article summary. So let's check article PDF. Guys, it gets tricky here. You see, this is, click on the PDF, and that would probably be the fastest way to get a copy of the article. Then you accept JSTOR's terms and conditions. Well, if of course you decide to accept them. And yes, and that's the article. And this is the article. And if you bring the pointer here, you see you have a choice of saving it or printing it out.